What is up, everybody? Welcome to another fresh take. Mr. T, how you doing, man?
Hey there, Foos. What's going on?
Okay, so I'm gonna go on and tell you right now. This review is for Wonder Woman 1984, and I'm telling you right now, it is going to be spoiler filled. I've given you more than enough time. So, I just want to pose a question to my compadre, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Why DC keep doing me like this?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I want to love them. I really do.
Yeah. They're so back and forth. So back and forth. I want to say outright is that anybody saying that, oh my God, Wonder Woman, a complete disaster, you're lying. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a horrible, awful thing that people are trying to make it out to be. It's not it's a good movie. It's just not a great Wonder Woman movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's get past that. I know there's a lot of clickbaits and all this stuff going on with YouTube channel. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. No, it's not. You're lying.
Not. Yeah. No, it's
You're
not.
lying.
No. Yeah. There are a lot of people out there that are exaggerating. On both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
On both sides, but more also on the it's horrible, worst thing I've seen the worst movie of all time. It's called Dragon Ball Evolution. Followed by second with Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li.
This is a very competent, beautiful to look at times film. This is not a bad film. It's just not a great Wonder Woman movie. It's not what we were expecting coming off the first one. So. Yeah,
and I will say this: I am all for Amazonian Ninja Warrior. I am all for that.
Oh, I'm all for that. Yeah. So, the best part of the movie, sadly, was right at the beginning.
At the beginning, but I think my main focus with this movie, as far as the issues for me, is one, lack of Jerry curls, and two,
right? What are Jerry curls at? It's supposed to be 80s.
The hell is the 80s? Okay.
Well, that's my main problem with the film. You're gonna go into it, but that's my main problem with this movie is that it's called 1984, and there's not a lot of 80 anything in it. 84. I mean, people kind of look like they're from the 80s, but it doesn't take any like scenario, no personality really from the 80s.
I mean,
I don't even know why it was set in 1984. Why even call it 1984? Like,
they didn't need to do this.
No,
they did not need to do this.
But you started off, my man.
Yeah, I think my main issue, and we're going to get to the good stuff. I just want to get my issues out of the way first because I want to do this a little different. I want to get my issues out first and then praise it. My main issue is the freaking inconsistency. Did nobody read this while they were doing this?
Well, I guess one of the main problems that Patty Jenkins took over the writing completely, where she didn't have complete control in the first movie. So
and I can understand that to a degree.
Yeah, to a degree.
Because that ending of the first one, the third act of the first movie, when they went straight up Dragon Ball Super, I completely understand why she wanted to take over.
Yeah,
because that wasn't in line with what they were doing in that first film. In this film,
they forced her to do that part.
Yeah,
because
come to find out she didn't want to do it, and you're like, okay. No.
And you can tell that she didn't want to do it with how it was executed.
Yeah,
I think it could have been done well, but she just didn't want to do it. So
I mean, it could have been done well if they would have went and got Akira Toriyama and some of the creators of Dragon Ball to do it
and defined what Ares actually could do as power set. He seemed to be able to do anything at once. But anyway, go ahead.
And that too leans into another issue that I had with the film. Now the film, they do an interesting job of explaining her invisible plane. The problem is that I have with that situation is if she learned it from her father, aka Zeus, we need to know. You kind of need to let us know what the gods are doing.
Yeah,
because clearly they know she's there.
Yeah,
clearly, and so you mean to tell me they just around and she just learned it and she only? That's one problem. The second one, I didn't mind the setup with Maxwell Lord. I just think they should have kept it with the comics, making him Lex Luthor light instead of making him a snake oil salesman. I I didn't agree with that, with them doing that. Because
I felt that he was Lex Luthor. Like I felt that he was Lex Luthor, Superman 78. Like I felt like he was. I felt like he was on that kind of path. But yeah, go ahead.
I didn't. My problem is I like the Maxwell Lord. That's like he knows about Lex Luthor and he's jealous of him because that's basically how they played him in the comics.
Honestly, he was my favorite part of the movie. Like he's my favorite.
Pedro Pascal is Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. He did it up. He did a great job.
Yeah, he worked with what he could work with. The other thing is, and this harkens back to our review of Iron Fist, where they had a better version of the origin of a character, and they should have used it from the comic. That's my problem with Cheetah. I love Kristen Wiig. Kristen Wiig is awesome, but if you read the curse, when Barbara got cursed to be Cheetah, that's the version I'm talking about. That origin when they did that retcon from the Golden Age and put it in modern, and they made her where she was cursed, and that her and Diana really are good friends. Yeah. I'm like,
full on Cheetah should have never been in this movie.
No,
I didn't mind Barbara Minerva being in it, but Cheetah shouldn't have been in it.
You have to set it up. They X-Men'd that. Like, they Fox X-Men'd that. And then, oh my God, the CG. People, you can get mad as hell at people saying that that people like in Marvel. Marvel did not F up on their CG.
Yeah, the physics, like the way she was moving and the wire working, it was just not working. And you know what? The funny thing is, well, it's not funny. The thing is that all of these issues that we have with the film are because she decided to go her own way from the first film. Like she cut the stunt team that she had in the first film. She cut all these things. She cut the writing team that she had in the first film. And these are the problems with this film, is the writing and the stunt work. AKA CG and stuff. So yeah.
And that's where I think that the problem with the CG was mounted because of the whole running and how they did it. And even with Kristen Wiig in the White House, that running looked bad.
Yeah, the running looked bad, and like even her moves, like the wire work, like I said, was not good. It's like you had all these things in place. Why are you cutting,
people you need
second unit people? Like why are you that second unit? Why are you cutting them? Was there somebody saying there was issues with that stuff in the first movie? I don't think so. I don't think anybody had a problem with the CG. Well, maybe the CG, some of the CG, especially with Ares at the end. But for the stunt work, we all love. Like, I was so visceral. Like, I love when she the scene where she's at, they call it No Man's Land, and she's in the town and whatnot. That choreography was excellent.
That was that's like one of the best scenes in movies. Period.
It's the best scene in the movie. Yeah. So I'm like, why are you messing with that stuff? Like, you lost a little touch there, Patty. I love you, Patty. I do. But I think she went too far with the whole, because that's what you can do. You can overreact. She overreacted to the what Warner Brothers was trying to do her in the first film, like Control. So now that she came back, she did well. The movie did well. It's like, all right, you guys are gonna have to leave me alone now. I'm gonna do my own thing, completely. And that's never a good take. You should never want to do that. Filmmaking is a collaborative effort. You want as many voices as you can. I mean, obviously you don't want to get too crazy with it, because you don't want too many people in your ear, but you want collaboration, because that's a huge part of filmmaking. She knows that. And that's what disappointed me a little bit. I'm a little annoyed by that she should know better.
That's the thing. Like, she's an awesome filmmaker. Like, I don't get how, like, I don't understand, but at the same time, the stuff she got right, she did get right. But can I ask you another question, man? How come Jeff Johns can write a comic book but can't write a movie to save his damn life of characters that he has written before?
Yeah.
Jeff Johns has a writing credit on this movie.
Yeah, she's like one of the few people that like had his back, if you will.
Yeah.
After the whole, I don't know what happened, and I don't know if because she was feeling pressure from Warner Brothers, and he was like, I'm with you, and she kind of helped. He had her back for that, and so she reciprocated, and she's like, I don't understand that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
At this point, man, I'm gonna be completely honest. Jeff Johns, just go back to writing comic books, man. Don't write another damn movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think it's not the same thing. That's the thing about writing comics and writing films are way different because, I mean, first of all, it's you're a lot into the visuals as well. You don't have to put so much into character development in films or in comic books the way you have to do in films.
That's true.
Like, so it's different. Comic books can be great on their own, and you're like, oh, this comic book is great, but you can't just take that and slap it into the movie and it still is great. It doesn't work that way.
Well, I think I'm coming from the fact that like these are characters that he has written. So you would think that you're like he would at least be able to say, okay, look, man, we can't really do that, or we shouldn't play this character like this, or you know what I'm saying. But I don't think he's doing that. So yeah. So it's just one of those situations. I'm just sitting there like, bro.
Another thing I think is that can we just? I love Richard Donner. Can we stop trying to emulate Richard Donner's Superman?
Stop.
Like, can we? Like, it's not 1978 anymore.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work.
I understand the adulation that who was before with Superman Returns. What's his name?
Bryan Singer.
Our guy Bryan Singer. Bryan Singer and now Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 15 years ago almost. Like, yeah. And it didn't work then. And him trying to emulate
Ruth's career.
Right. And so why are you Patty Jenkins, 15 years later after that adulation fest didn't work even in 2006? Why are you still trying to do like that style of comic book movie doesn't work anymore?
Yeah.
I thought we figured that out with X-Men in 2000. I thought we figured that out back with Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie. Like, you can't do that kind of that was supposed to be the turning point for comic book movies.
Yeah.
So let's stop doing that goofy, okie dokie type of, comic book action and setups. Because that you could have completely cut out that mall scene and it would have been completely fine.
And that's another thing that I really want to touch on.
The movie was too damn long.
The movie was too goddamn long. And
for no good reason.
Excuse my Wakandan, but yeah, you could have cut out at least 15 to 20 minutes of this film and would have had a tighter film.
Yeah.
And a better film. That mall scene made no sense. And the stuff leading up to the mall scene, which was goofier.
Yep.
Which I'm like, okay, hold on.
You could have cut the mall scene, and we talked about Cheetah. You could have completely cut out fully transformed Cheetah, and this movie would have been just fine. Yeah. Go ahead.
The mascara works. Mall scene and stuff going up to mall scene does not work.
Yeah.
And that was like a good, 10, 12 minutes. And I think the whole significance of that was to get the little black girl to say, I saw you. Like,
like that didn't work. like none of that worked. None of that was necessary. It felt stupid because she's trying to hide herself, but here she is in the middle of the mall jumping around all over the place, and it's like, she knocked out a few cameras after the fact. So what? They still would have saw her. Like, it made no sense. It just made no sense. And it's just like, why are you doing this?
And this goes back to what we said. Why is this set in 84? Because if you remember, in Batman v Superman and in Justice League, she hid from the world for over 100 years.
Yeah.
They should have set this movie in present day. I'm sorry. They just should have set it in present day.
It should have been.
And now you don't have to worry about that. You just don't have to worry about
84 did not add to it at all.
Yeah, they did nothing to make it add to it. Now, I think we've beat it up enough.
Yeah.
I think we have, but I think we made good points.
Because it's not like like I said, what I've seen online with all the overreacting, hating and whatnot is come on.
Half of them people I don't think seen the movie. But
seriously.
Now the good thing is, I'm gonna be honest. At first, I was worried about how they were gonna bring Chris Pine in because he clearly blew the hell up.
Yeah.
But they found a way to do it. It made sense, and I could rock with it.
I could rock with it, except for one thing. It was a little weird that he did the heaven can wait thing.
Yeah,
which is he took over somebody else's body, and so it's kind of weird that she's basically sleeping with some other dude, some random dude,
and don't care.
And don't care, and it's kind of on the sexual assault side.
Here's my thing about that. I'm like, it would have been weird if they would have kept showing the other guy's face, but because they show Chris Pine's face, it takes me out of that. I didn't even think about it. So I'm sitting there like, okay, I understand when I saw that, when people were saying that, I'm like, okay, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but
I didn't think about it, and I didn't think about it until the end, and it reminded me, and I was like, God dang. That's when I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
But here's the thing: it's not like that guy came out and was like, "Hey, I remember you using my." It wasn't like the other guy could see what was going on, so it was kind of like his.
I'm just saying, in a post Me Too era that we live in, it felt kind of weird. That's all.
It did feel weird. I'm not even gonna lie about that. It did, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I can let that fly because
I let it fly. I let it slide. You got to let some stuff slide.
It is a swap situation where Chris Pine's spirit is there. That dude's spirit is somewhere else. So that's his body essentially, but the spirit inside of it ain't his. So it's not that.
I was gonna say it's weird because it's somebody else's body. You're just using their body. Just if you really start to think about it, it just seems weird. But you shouldn't dwell on it too much.
Yeah, no, because they do a good job of. They only show that dude like what twice in the movie.
Twice, and like I said, it was the second time. The second time was what drove it home because you saw him for a good while and you heard him talking, and that's what it made. That's when I felt a little weird about it.
Yeah.
It was fine when he just saw himself in the mirror. It was kind of like Quantum Leap, I was thinking about the Quantum Leap show, and I'm like, okay, I can go with that. But then when he came back at the end and he was his own self, and I was like, this is kind of weird now.
That's when he was like, okay, y'all, you should put that scene.
And he's wearing the outfit that you put on him when he was not him.
You know what? That was the other thing I was gonna say about the movie that should have been cut. Too many montages that went nowhere.
Yeah. That montage, I was expecting that to be really funny, and it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
No.
Y'all needed to have Ryan Reynolds come in and write y'all a montage or something.
Yeah, again, the writing, I think, would more, Patty Jenkins is not the comedian. She's not going to be able to pull that kind of scene off on her own.
Yeah, somebody should have punched that up. Kevin Smith, Ryan Reynolds, somebody, James Gunn.
It was pretty dry.
Yeah.
It was pretty dry.
Yeah. So, but I think, and the other thing too, where I think the actors were not the issue. Like Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Pedro Pascal, Kristen Wiig. I thought they were great.
I thought everybody did really well.
Yeah, I thought they did really well. Now, there were some exaggerated things in there, like
maybe his son. I don't want to rag on the kid actor or anything, but
because he was just doing what he was told. So I'm like,
he was a little weak, but okay, it's all right. He's a kid actor in a movie, whatever.
Yeah, and he probably was having the time of his life. So hey, more power to you, player. But the other thing that I would say was a little bit exaggerated. I know why they did it because it was heavily in the 80s. Was that Barbara Minerva always getting stepped on and dudes just ignoring her and crap like that until she took them glasses off and put some heels on. Mm-hmm. That was a classic trope of 80s films.
Right.
I still don't understand why anybody, like you said, post Me Too would do that.
I didn't even have a Me Too problem with that. I just had, that doesn't work because first of all, I don't feel like I'm in the 80s, Like I said, the 80s stuff wasn't strong enough. So where that would have worked if I felt, this is 80s because, those tropes work in the 80s. It's the 80s. Mm-hmm. And if you watch any 80s movie, there's quite a bit of misogyny and there's quite a bit of, she doesn't look good until she takes her glasses off. So that in concept works. Yeah. But because she didn't really deliver, she didn't execute the 80s enough, it didn't work. That's why it didn't work for me. That was the only problem I had with that.
And to be honest, Kristen Wiig, she made it work as much as she could. And I will say this again. I like Kristen Wiig as an actress. I really do. I think she
so
pulled
underrated.
off Barbara Minerva pretty well. My only issue with that was this should have been a build up to her going Cheetah in 3 or 4, or however they want to do this. They shouldn't have tried to one shot this. They should have just made it where Max was the villain. And if they wanted to bring in like another little side villain or whatever, bring in one of Wonder Woman's other little side villains and have her and Barbara working together. Because once again, the better story is the curse where Barbara gets cursed. And then you see how Diana can't really fight her because that's kind of the only friend she got, really.
Yeah, she holds back. She doesn't want to.
Yeah, so
hurt her.
And that would have gave you enough time to fix the damn CG, or at least try to hire ILM.
Yeah, and it's so funny because the minute they know they have wonky CG, they try to put it in the night at night, or when it starts getting dark, and it's just like. You trying to hide it, man. You trying to hide this CG. Come on.
They Zack Snyder that mug. but I liked the idea of the wishes. And I like the fact that for the first time in a movie with wishes, the villain actually does the smart thing. Hey, I want infinite wishes.
Right. Like that. I didn't see that coming, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
I'm like, finally the villain does what a villain's supposed to do with wishes. Yeah. Don't screw the rules. Give me ultimate wishes.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've seen that in other movie. I don't know, was it in Aladdin? I saw it in something where the guy was like, I want 1,000 more wishes. And it's like, oh, it doesn't work that way. You can't cheat it that way. So I've seen that addressed before, but the smart thing is that he said, I want to be the genie. And it's like, oh, okay. Then there's no way you're getting around that.
So I was like, okay, that's smart. That's actually smart. So I liked that idea. And I liked how Pedro Pascal played it when he started doing, because he was messing dudes up.
Yeah.
Left and right. And I thought that was actually okay, that's actually cool. I
like the fact that they because in the comics he has mind control powers. Instead of like, but I didn't mind the fact that they didn't do that. But I like the fact that they did homage that, at least with his nose bleeding and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Because when he uses mind control, when he used that stuff, it did affect him. It affected his body, it affected him physically, and so I thought that was cool that they at least homaged it.
Yeah, because Maxwell Lord is not Charles Xavier, so he can't do that.
Right.
He can't do it like that. But I thought that
that was also part of the problem, because they didn't really define how the wishing thing worked. Yeah. They didn't really define the fact that you lose. They didn't define it well. You lose something from the wish.
They did try to retcon it at the end, but once again, it's done so fast that you're like, dude, y'all should have put this scene at the beginning.
Yeah, explain that, because they were throwing stuff out there from the comics, with the referencing certain gods and whatnot from the comics. Yeah. Go full on into that. Explain that right there, right then, so people can understand, the fact that if you make this wish, you lose something most valuable to you, or something like that. Yeah. Explain that right away, and you would have no people sitting there like, I'm confused. How is he getting power from granting people's wishes? I don't understand how that's working. You could have explained that during the whole archaeology segment.
All right. So the problem is with the actual throwing things in that we know, that comic book people know. And I know that people that there's going to be some people who say, well, a lot of people don't read comics and watch the movies. That's kind of not true nowadays. Just being honest, more comic book readers than you know are watching the films. And we know when you're putting stuff in and then you're not explaining. So it actually makes it bad, because that actually leads to the confusion of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's just like that. So I think where where everything was going good. Well, the problem with this movie is the things that they do well, they work. The things that they do bad, they do bad. So it's that's why one of my complaints about the movies was it's just too inconsistent and it's too long. So if you can overlook that, you might enjoy it. I'm gonna say this right now. I am so glad I didn't pay to go see this in the theater. I would have been upset. I'll be honest at that point. That's just being real. I would have been upset because that's too many. There are too many things that they do in here that while I enjoy the Wonder Woman films, this one is just I can't let it go. That you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Batman vs Superman, the theatrical cut, not that Ultimate Edition that they put out in July. I'm talking about in March of 2016, the theatrical cut that is horrible, and people just lied and said it was good.
Yeah, that theatrical, like, yeah. I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what it reminds me of. Now, if in 3 months they come out with a Wonder Woman 84 Ultimate cut or Patty Jenkins cut, and it fixes all these issues, I'll be like, okay, y'all, that's what y'all should have put out first.
But the problem is the movie's already 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, I don't need to see nothing else.
Like, what are they gonna add that's gonna fix? I don't see it happening for this movie.
Yeah,
that they're gonna add something that's gonna fix. If anything, it needs some stuff, like we said, needs to be cut.
Yeah, it needs to be taken out. So overall, I guess I would give this like a rental.
Yeah,
if it were me.
I mean, I would, because like you said, there's good performances. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. Like, super surprising to me when she was first announced, but she is Wonder Woman. Like, she embodies the persona of Wonder Woman really well. But that's kind of where it ends, like, and
yeah,
as far as the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I just that's it. I mean, now I will say I did love what they did with Linda Carter and her cameo.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, that was nice cool. Cameo.
But you know what? I would have liked better if she was actually in the movie and gave her the armor. Yeah,
that would have been like, because she just has the armor. Like, none of that's another. See, we're gonna talk about more things we didn't like. But she just has the armor sitting in the wall in her little bat cave. And it was just like, okay, she just has this armor sitting there. Okay.
Yeah. Which was weird, because I was like, if you're gonna do that, and that's what I thought they were gonna do, especially when she told the story of it, I'm like, this would have been so much better if y'all would have had Linda Carter in here after she rescinds her wish, and Linda Carter's the one that meets up with her and tells her and gives her the armor. That would have been better to me than. Now, I love the post-credit scene, don't get me wrong, I loved it.
Yeah.
I just think you could have been done better, and I think Linda should have been in it just because Linda is the bomb. So
I mean, she's Wonder Woman, no doubt. Like,
she is the bomb. So overall, was it terrible? No, it was not terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible. No. If anybody, you see headlines and anybody's video or anything like that, there's a disaster. No, you're lying.
No.
You just, you
overreacted. Yeah. I mean, because let's be honest, we done seen way worse X-Men films that people swear were good.
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, nah, bro. Like, if you watch X-Men Apocalypse, this is better than that.
Yeah, that's a disaster.
That is a disaster film.
Right. Seriously. But this is a very competent movie.
Yeah.
That works, but it just doesn't hit the Wonder Woman tropes that we wanted to hit, especially coming off the first movie. How she felt so heroic. She didn't feel that heroic in this. Even though this is all about her being a hero. This is so strange.
Yeah, I honestly think that, and I hope, because they already greenlit 3. For 3, just put it in modern times. Do not try to do Wonder Woman 95.
Yeah, I think they already confirmed it's going to be modern times.
Okay, because I don't need to see Wonder Woman 98. I don't.
No.
I really don't. I don't need to see Wonder Woman 2010. I don't need to see that. Just set it in modern times and just go from there. And and we'll see. But anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No, that's pretty much it. I watched it twice just to make sure. Yeah, just to make sure my points were on point.
Yeah.
And this is how I feel about it. It's a good movie, just not a great Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, this should tell Warner Brothers and DC, your single hero movie should not be 2.5 hours. At max, they should be like 2 hours, 15 minutes.
2 hours. Yeah, max. 2 hours, 15 tops.
Yeah, no 2 hours.
2 hours and 30 minutes. Come on.
Now, your team up films. Now, when you do another Justice League movie,
Justice League. Justice League. Yeah,
expect it to be 2.5 hours.
Right.
The next, if you do the Flash better not be no 2.5 hours. I don't care if it is Flashpoint. It better not be 2.5 hours.
But it probably will be. It probably will be.
I can't deal with Ezra Miller no 2.5 hours. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't. I mean, I cannot deal with that boy for no 2.5 hours.
Oh my god! But I don't think he'll be the goofy Ezra Miller, the goofier Flash that we've seen a lot. I think he'll be more, more heroic and more, like I said, because he's going to be more mature as Flash.
I hope to God. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to go with this really goofy kind of, stuff that we've seen in like Justice League.
Justice League.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to see him less goofy in the Snyder Cut. Actually,
I hope so. I hope so. So we're just gonna have to find out. And please believe, me and T will be letting y'all know our thoughts on that Justice League Snyder Cut when it drops.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's good for everybody that was bitching about it. I'm hoping it's good. But
it better be good.
Because I still have concerns because of Zack Snyder. But I still have concerns. The man knows how to shoot an action sequence, but he don't know how to direct characters to save his life. So
yeah,
I'll leave it at that. And if you think I'm lying, go back and watch Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
See, people forget he did that.
Yeah, I love the fact that people still can't get over Superman snapping Zod's neck. But Wonder Woman did that.
Stop him. How the hell else do you stop him?
She did that to Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like that's my only problem that I have with people who don't follow the stories of the movie. Like, how else do you stop them?
Yeah, and that was clearly a homage to Wonder Woman doing that to Max Lord in the comic. Yeah,
because he
was saying the same thing. He was like, "You're not going to stop me. I can't stop." He was saying that in the comic. And basically what Zod was saying, and she said, "All right."
And there was a line in Justice League after that when Batman tried to confront her. She's like, "Look, there's a reason why I don't have a rogues gallery." I'm like, "Damn."
I take care of it. It's over. I'm a warrior. I ain't about putting you in jail.
Like, put you in jail for what? So you can do it again?
Right. I ain't got no Phantom Zone to throw you in. I'm gonna take you out, son.
And they ain't going to Themyscira, so I'm gonna kill you.
Nah. We don't take prisoners.
Yeah. So I like that because it made people understand that, one, as much as you love Batman, Arkham Asylum is a rotating door.
Right.
And two,
it's like, come on, security at that place is a joke.
Yeah, the heroes have been responsible for as many deaths as the villains.
Right. And
she don't have that problem. Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah. So those are our thoughts on the Wonder Woman in 1984 minus Eddie Murphy. So you guys just leave us your thoughts in the comments. Like I said, is it worth watching at least once?